she must have been really, really struggling before coming to a decision like this, man, because she's thinking about giving up her baby to her brother. I'm coming to you guys looking for advice because, to be honest, I don't really have any close friends that I feel comfortable sharing this with. I'm also not prepared to discuss it with my family, and I really could use some unbiased input. Let me give you guys a phone number, 1-855-BERT-SHOW. First, you should know that I am a happily single woman in my early 30s, and I have never had any real desire to have children. Maybe I'll get married, maybe I won't. However, kids have never really been part of my life plan. My brother is the opposite. He most definitely has always wanted to be a father, and I think he'd make a pretty incredible one. His wife is also pretty incredible and would make an amazing mom. Unfortunately, they've been trying for years, and it hasn't happened for them. They've made every reasonable attempt, but are both constantly heartbroken when it doesn't work. Well, last month, I found out that I'm pregnant. I've thought a lot about my situation, and I just haven't changed my mind. Nothing clicked in my brain from pregnancy that has suddenly made me maternal. I really still have no desire to have my own children. The father is also not interested in being a dad. So I can't help but think the obvious thing to do is to ask my brother and sister-in-law if they'd be interested in adopting my baby. However, I don't even know how to approach them with this offer. From Nancy. 1-855-BERT-SHOW.
That is complicated with a lot of layers.
But does it have to be? Can't you just be like, y'all want this baby?
Well, I mean, it's a major assumption on her part that her brother and her sister-in-law would even be open to a suggestion like that. Because as somebody who struggled with infertility, if somebody offered up their baby to me, I'd be like, I would feel a certain way about that. But, you know, this is family, and so they're closer to the situation. And, you know, I don't judge her for how she's feeling. Some women just don't want to be moms, and that's totally fine. That's not their bag, and that's totally fine. And she's found herself in this situation, and she wants her child to be in a loving two-parent home. And so I commend her on actually making that sacrifice for the child, for the betterment of the child. Now, here's the thing. You make a commitment like that to somebody, and you hear it a lot. Once you have that baby, all of a sudden, a switch flips and that baby's on your chest, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can give up this child. So I want her to be sure that if she does make an offer like this to her brother, she is 100% committed to that offer, because that is an offer you cannot rescind. And if you do, would do irreparable damage to that couple after they've already had so many losses along the way trying to have a baby.
Yeah, this is tricky right here. Mo, what you got?
I feel like after she obviously does whatever it is that she needs to do for however long she needs to do it to make sure that this is like the decision that she wants to make, and she comes to that conclusion, maybe she shouldn't sit down with her brother and say, hey, and offer the baby, as much as she should sit down with him and just tell him how she's feeling about her situation and kind of let him lead into if that's something he would be interested in, and then maybe she'll get some kind of direction from that.
Bobby, what you got?
Yeah, I feel like vetting them, like, how do you guys feel about adoption? How would you feel if somebody offered you a whole human? You know, like, that's a weird conversation. There's no way we can get around that. So I think Mo's direction of, you know, sit with this for a little while. It is such a selfless, amazing thing what you're even considering doing. I have such a soft spot for adoption stories. I think it's one of the most amazing things anybody can do with their life. And it's super cool what you would be doing for them as a couple, but like Kristen said, you don't know where they sit with it. So I think, like Mo said, like, sit with it, see where you are with it, and then maybe talk to your brother like, I'm pregnant, I'm thinking about giving this child up for adoption. And then at that point, they would be like, hey, let us have that baby.
Dixie, what you got?
Yes, so I think she definitely needs to talk to her brother and sister-in-law, and if she is 100% sure kids are not part of my plan, that's fine. But as a woman who personally cannot have her own children, I would be more than willing to take any of my siblings' children if they truly felt that they just couldn't do this.
Yeah, it's the part that I was focusing on also is Kristen's part in this, saying that, you know, once you make a commitment like that, you might feel very differently once you go through term and have the baby. So it is tricky, but she's trying to do the right thing. Cassie, you want the last word on this?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people don't know that you can put up babies for adoption after birth. So she could go through with the whole thing, hold the baby on her chest. If she still feels that way, she can mention adoption and then see if the brother offers to adopt her child. And that way it comes from him and everybody wins.
Maybe she should approach the family and go, you know what? How about a trade? You guys just got that PS5.
Yeah. I was going to put this baby on Craigslist.
Yeah,
but...
and I got something I think you want if you just hook me up with that PS5. Make it more of a business transaction. No?
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. Okay.
That's fair.
I'm just trying. That's all. I'm just trying to make everybody happy.
This is The Bert Show.